Hello, my dear students, and welcome back. I know. Board exams are just around the corner, and the tension is building up. But please, don't you worry. Today, we're going to break down the first chapter of Introducing Indian Society. And I promise you, by the end of this little explainer, you'll feel like you have a brand new superpower. Let's make this super simple and fun, okay?
Okay, so let's jump right in. The coolest thing about sociology is that you're not starting from scratch. I mean, think about it. Unlike physics or chemistry, you've been living inside a society your entire life. You already know so much about family, friends, festivals, even bigger things like caste and religion. So just relax. You're kind of already an expert.
But, and this is a really big but, all this knowledge that we already have, what we call common sense, well, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. It's an advantage, yes, but it can also be a disadvantage. It can actually become a little bit of a trap. Let's see how.
So, on one hand, it's great, right? You're not afraid of sociology. It feels familiar and comfortable, but here's the flip side. To really get this subject, you first have to kind of unlearn what you think you know, because our common sense view, it isn't always the full story. It's a bit like thinking you know everything about India just because you know your own neighborhood.
Now, the textbook uses this absolutely brilliant word to describe our common sense, partial. And it's so clever because this one word has two meanings, and both of them fit perfectly here. First, partial means it's incomplete. We're only seeing a part of the big picture. And second, it means biased. Our view is tilted towards our own group, our own family, our own life experiences.
Just think of it like this, okay? Your common sense is like this pizza with a few slices missing. It's just not the whole thing, is it? And at the same time, it's like this weighing scale that's tilted to one side. It's biased in favor of what we already believe. What sociology wants to do is help us see the whole pizza and to get those scales perfectly balanced. So, if common sense has these issues, what's the solution? Well, the solution is sociology itself. You should really think of it as a superpower that this subject gives you. It's like a special pair of glasses that lets you see the world and even yourself in a totally new way.
And the very first power you unlock is something called self-reflexivity. I know, it's a fancy-sounding word, but the idea is actually very simple. It's the ability to kind of step outside of yourself and see yourself the way other people might see you. It's like when you watch a recording of yourself giving a speech and you suddenly notice, whoa, is that really how I stand? You just become more aware.
So with this new power, you can see your own social map. You realize you're not just you. You're also a student. You might be a Gujarati, maybe from a middle-class family, a young person living in a city. All these labels, they place you on the map of society. Sociology helps you read that map and understand your position.
Okay, bachcho, pen and paper out. This is a very important exam tip. A super common one-mark question is to define self-reflexivity. A perfect full marks answer is the ability to critically inspect and reflect upon oneself from an external perspective. Just remember that and you've got an easy mark in the bag.
All right, now let's take this one step further. There was this really famous American sociologist. His name was C. Wright Mills, and he gave us this amazing idea that connects our own small, personal lives to the huge, giant society that we're all a part of.
He said that we have to understand the difference between personal troubles and social issues. Okay, so a personal trouble is your own private problem. Like, say, you're worried about finding a job after college. That's your private worry, right? But a social issue is when lakhs and lakhs of young people across India are struggling to find jobs. See the difference? One is your personal tension, the other is a public problem that affects a huge group of people. And here is the real magic. This is what C. Wright Mills said. The whole point of sociology is to show you the link between your personal trouble, like your job stress, and the bigger social issue, like the country's unemployment rate or the education system. Your personal story is actually part of a much, much bigger story. And remember his name, C. Wright Mills, very important for the exam.
Okay, so now that you have your sociology superpower, the rest of this textbook, it's not just a bunch of boring chapters. Not at all. I want you to think of them as missions, exciting missions to go out and explore our very own fascinating Indian society.
So what are these missions? Well, first we'll be counting our crores in Chapter 2, looking at our huge population. Then we'll dive deep into society's building blocks, caste, tribe, and family. After that, we'll investigate the power of the market and how it affects our lives. We'll also look at the tough stuff, like inequality. And finally, we'll explore the biggest challenge and the biggest strength of India, our incredible diversity. It's going to be a real adventure.
Now listen, I know looking at all those chapters can feel a little overwhelming, but please, don't worry. I am going to be right here with you, and we are going to make a simple, easy explainer for every single chapter. You are not doing this alone. We'll get through it together. Paka.
So, let's do a quick revision for the exam. What are the 4 main things to remember from Chapter 1? Number 1, your common sense is a good start, but it's incomplete and biased. Number 2, sociology gives you the superpower of self-reflexivity. Number 3, it connects your personal troubles to bigger social issues. And number 4, it gives you a social map to find your place in society. That's it. That is the entire chapter in a nutshell.
And that is a wrap on Chapter 1. You've just unlocked a brand new way of looking at everything and everyone around you. So my only question for you now is, are you ready to see the world with your new sociological eyes? I have a feeling you are. All the very best, my dear students, and I will see you in the next explainer.